So here we are on my page for funeral home valuations. And I really need to stress that this is a thumbnail guess of the value of your business. And it's important that you view this whole video to determine how you can complete this because you're going to have questions as you go along. I do encourage you, if you want to talk about it, call me and I'll walk you through it. But it's important to understand a couple of key principles in here. So I'm just going to take it line by line. The first line obviously is your call volume, and this is important because it helps us determine some other factors. But I'm going to put in here that this particular funeral home has 95 calls. Now they obviously aren't going to get 2,700,000. So on this unit, I'm going to say they have $950,000 in uh, gross revenue. Now that includes burial revenue. They do some work for other people. There's about $50,000 out of non-service revenue, but I put the whole thing in. Now here's the key, item number 3. I have put down a drop-down menu for you to help you determine what the net revenue is based on whether or not you include cash advances. Most funeral homes do include cash advances in revenue, and if you don't also include cash advance expense, then you've lost your common denominator. Gross revenue net of cash advances, excluding cash advances, is the common denominator that we have to get to here. So you'll notice that if I flip this to no, item 4 says skip this entry, and it just sets it at 0%. If I say yes, you need to put this in, and the industry average on cash advances, by the way, is about 20%. So select this, put in 20%. If it's 15%, put in 15%. If it's 25%, whatever you think it is. This is a best guess option here. And then this line will automatically calculate to be the revenue less cash advances. This item here also automatically calculates, and it is really intended to give you a sense of whether you're on target or not. So right now, we're looking at an $8,000 average sale for all cases. I'm not going to discriminate between burial and cremation and so on and so forth. Is that accurate? Is that not accurate? Most funeral directors can judge. In this case, we have about $50,000 worth of non-call revenue, so it probably we end up being $7,600, something like that, in the long run. So it's just a judgment call. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you can go back up and change the gross revenue number. Now we get down to the EBITDAR. You've probably heard about EBITDA. In this case, we're going to talk about EBITDAR. And what that means is that not only is it the normal EBITDA, but we're adding back rent paid to owners because most of the time owners own the facilities outside of the corporation and rent needs to be added back in. I just want to make that point. Now, EBITDAR is somewhat tied, loosely, but still tied to size. 30% is really a pretty good average ratio for larger funeral homes. But this is a smaller funeral home, and EBITDAR tends to range between 20 and 30%. So I'm just going to guess it's 23%. So you'll see it automatically calculates the EBITDAR. We're not going to get into specifics like we would with a regular valuation. So then we're going to go down here, and this is a rural funeral home. 6 to 6.5 really is for large, pretty well qualified funeral homes. Not well qualified, but funeral homes that are going to have a pretty active market for them. So I'm going to guess that this guy is more like 5.5. So estimated gross value is 961.4. That gross value relates to about $10,000 a call. Again, this is a checkpoint, 1.26 times net revenue. This is a checkpoint. Am I comfortable with this? Do I feel like this is the right thing? Do I think it's too low? Do I think it's too high? It's not trying to be exact, all right? Now, what a lot of people forget here is that almost all sales for funeral homes are as a result of asset sales. So you get to keep your cash. And in this case, the funeral homes has $50,000 in cash. And they're kind of sloppy about their receivables, so they keep they have $75,000 in receivables, and they have very little in short-term liability. Let's just say 10,000, and all their debts paid off. So in reality, at the closing, in gross, before you pay your taxes, and if you got a broker before you pay your broker, you're going to take home $1,076,400. I may do a calculator later to help you figure out what the tax impact of that is, but I want to make one last comment. This price includes your real estate. We can separate out real estate, but we definitely need more information than what is provided in this particular calculator. You can update this, you can print it, you can submit it. It gets sent to me. I don't know why, quite honestly, because I can't tell who sent it to me. It's just a function of this particular calculator. If you want to talk to me about it, call me up. My phone number is in the contact part here. So you can call me and we can discuss whatever you like to talk about, so that so you got the address, and you can email me. You can do all kinds of cool things. Anyway, that's my calculator. I hope you have fun with it. Use it as often as you want. It's free.